the mama. Her jury selection is scheduled also for today because Florida, of course, they got to make sure they up in the house. Like, they got to make sure they on court TV every week. Like, it's just no way. They cannot let it down. So her son was convicted of unaliving after he went inside the Home Depot. All the cameras, everything around, didn't care, no disregard, and decided to unalive his girlfriend. Now, the mama, she went to trial for first-degree premeditated unaliving in November of 2024. But the proceedings ended up in a mistrial due to strife amongst the jurors. Can you believe they had a mistrial because the jurors was acting a mess? Like, the jurors was acting a whole mess. So her trial and new jury selection is scheduled for today. And here's a little bit of what happened in the first trial. So we can look at some of this. I guess we can look at some of them. Maybe we can't. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. So the backstory on this one is on August 11, 2023, Sims, which is the victim, was working at a Home Depot on Davis Highway. She was doing inventory counter when her ex-boyfriend, Keefe, right, drove all the way from Alabama to unalive her. He walked right into the store. They say he headed right down aisle 52. They even got the aisle number. And fatally shot her. At least 7 times, y'all. And then he fled the store and turned himself in. Like, he could have just stayed for that. So now during his 2023 trial, he testified that he was so mad at her after receiving a call at work on August 11th that he had tested positive for STD. For STD. He said he immediately left his job in Alabama and got right up and drove right on down to Pensacola, Florida. He said he was enraged, betrayed, and hurt about receiving this diagnosis. I can't with these people. Like, what is wrong with them? Really? He told the jury after hearing the news he intended to get revenge. This right here, this is the mama. You know, he was immediately sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But the problem is that texts indicate that his mama convinced her son to commit the unaliving in Pensacola. No. I want you to unalive her. Don't do it here in Alabama. Go ahead and drive up there to her job and take care of this. So prior to the shooting, the mother and son was on there with them Twitter fingers, right? Getting all that Twitter going on, those Twitter fingers. So they sent each other all types of messages planning this out. And so during her first trial, messages were submitted into evidence to show how Sheila and Keith, they came up with a plan, right? So no one he said, he texted the mama and said, I want to say this is bruh. Maybe he was calling his mom bruh. Bruh, that's another thing. If she don't get out the car, mama, and I have to drag her out, or can't, I'ma ask you to step out because I'ma open the door and just shoot her. Then the mama replied, hell, if you getting off work now, I'll give you the address here and you can ride over here and do it. So you don't have to do it in front of his daughter. Turn down my phone. I can't, Jules. That's my baby. I got to keep that one going. Yeah. So, wow. Check that out. So him and the mama, these are text messages that they didn't pull from him and the mama. That ding just ding, my ding. I know. And it's so crazy when the kids, when they send me text messages, she didn't send me like 8 messages with one sentence. One word, not one sentence, one word. Let me see, because she is sure texting me. Let me text her back. That way y'all don't have to hear the ding, ding, ding. Last time we was on stream and I tried to do that, what is it? The do not disturb on my phone. I couldn't get it off. So I'm too scared to put it on there again. I had to wait till one of the kids came home to take it off. Yeah, I got one. If she want to do cheerleader. So I don't know how to do this. Can I turn? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all don't want me to throw my phone. I can't put my phone in the other room because they may need to call me. Life of being a mom, right? And a mom that's not tech savvy. So back to this. So we see the text messages that Sheila, where she replied to her son. This is Keith's text message. So he basically told his mom via text message, hey, I want to do this, but if I can't get her out of the car, I'm out to drag her out. I can't, I'ma ask you to step out because I'ma open the door and just unalive her. So after Keith asked for the address. Sheila gave him the address for the Home Depot. So if y'all wondering why the first trial was, yeah, the mama was really okay with this. Absolutely. She was okay. So why did her first trial end in a mistrial? You know, I hinted to y'all and let y'all know that it was kind of something with the jurors, right? So after both the prosecution and the defense rested their cases, now look, they had went through the entire case. They had rested their cases. They gave final argument on November the 2024. Judge Robinson declared it a mistrial after the jurors say they were concerned for their physical safety while deliberating. One of the jurors who spoke individually with Robinson in open court described a loud verbal disagreement between certain jurors while they were deliberating. Like the jurors was in the jury room arguing and fighting, right? She told the judge that she felt for her physical safety of the jurors were so out of control due to the argumentative nature of one of their fellow jurors. Like, how are the jurors back there and they arguing so much and can't get along to the point that the juror come out like, I'm cool on this. I fear for my safety. If I don't vote the way they want me to vote or voice my opinion, I might be injured or hurt. Have you ever heard of such a thing? The jurors said that some of the heated arguments during the deliberation became racially motivated, right? But it was unclear whether the remarks were directed towards the mom or another juror. The deliberations became so heated that they asked the court if one juror could be replaced by an alternate, which is not allowed in their in Florida's, you know, according to their laws. So the former attorney, Chris Raby, mentioned that motion for a mistrial on the grounds that the jurors were fearing for their safety and possible racial bias, which would prevent his client from receiving a fair trial. I am so concerned it would not be a fair and just verdict, her attorney mentioned. While explaining to the jury he was declaring a mistrial, Robinson also denounced the action of one juror who was ordered to pay attention during the trial after it came to the court's attention that this juror was sitting over there playing crossword puzzles. This juror said she said, I ain't even paying attention to this mess. And I don't care what y'all say when we get back here. I'm going to do my crossword puzzle and I'm going to take it easy. Right? That same juror returned to the following day with another crossword puzzle. What a gangster. Said, just kick me off of here. I did not want to be here for $7.20 a day. I need to be out here making some money. I don't have time for this. I do not want to do this jury stuff. How did this person get this far into this trial? I've never heard of something so egregious. This is only in Florida. The jurors can't even get along. So they say during the following day with the other crossword puzzle, he was using it during the deliberations. According to the other jurors, like, I ain't got no interest in, I don't care what y'all vote. Y'all just do that. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do. I'm just here for the $7.20. I don't know how much they make an hour. $7.20 just sound like some stuff that I want to say. So they say there is a particular juror who has not treated this case, and it's evident with all seriousness it should have been. They even addressed the juror, and it continued back in the deliberation room. So, of course, they did grant the mistrial. The attorney, he withdrew. He was like, this is gonna be a lose-lose situation. I'm cool on this. So he cited that his clause in their contract that excludes representation for any retrial. So he said he had a clause in his contract that, hey, I'll represent you in the first one, but if anything happens and we can't get through it, I'm cool. You need to find you a new attorney. So Robinson, the judge who presided over the first trial, he said, I'm cool on this too. Y'all found a new judge. So he will not sit on the bench for this second trial. We got Judge Amy, who is expected to preside over this case. Now, if you were talking about a mess with a case, now if that ain't a mess with a case, I don't know what is a mess with a case. Like, that is such a mess. I mean, what a mess. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna check something real quick. God, and he was a little cutie pie, but I just don't understand. I mean, he a little young for me, but he could be like, he doable. Let me see. Here, I'm gonna show y'all some of his testimony. Wow. So I'm gonna put on some of his testimony from this trial. Yeah. Oh, I definitely hope they stream this one and do it right. But wow. Oh wow. Okay, here we go, guys. Oh, dang. Is that what you do or not? OnlyFans, I'm over here looking at this stuff. Thank you. Thanks, Zach. If y'all got that gift from OnlyFans and you got that drama docket membership, you know what you need to do. Put the names must be named. Thank you, Zach. You sure? You sure you want that crown, right? Okay, let me play this for us, and let's hear what his testimony was.
So raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. Yes, sir. Have a seat. All right, you've been pointed out several times today, but I want you to state your full name for the jury and spell your last name for the record.
Keith Eric Agee, Agee.
How old are you, Mr. Agee?
I'm 20 years old.
Where are you from originally?
Calvert, Alabama.
You were living there at the time of this crime?
Yes, sir.
Were you employed?
Yes, sir.
Where did you work?
I worked as a steel operator for AM&S Calvert.
How long have you been working there?
I just started recently, 2 months prior to this.
Did you know the deceased Brooklyn Sims?
Yes, sir.
How long have you known her?
Approximately close to 3 years
How did you two meet?
through mutual friends.
What was the nature of your relationship?
We were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Consistently the entire time you've known her?
On and off multiple times during the 3 years.
Do you have any children together?
Yes, sir.
How many?
1.
How old?
She just turned 2 in October.
What's her name?
Casey.
You two live together?
We have multiple times in the past.
Were you living together at the time she died?
No, sir.
Were you two together at the time she died?
Not officially, but we were going back and forth romantically.
When was the last time, when you say romantically, does that include sexually?
Yes, sir.
When was the last time you two were together sexually, romantically?
The prior weekend from August the 11th.
The weekend before she died?
Yes, sir.
What did you two, how did you spend that weekend?
We mostly stayed watching movies, joking and laughing, and playing with my now 2-year-old.
You two were co-parenting together, is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm gonna quit beating around the bush now. You killed Brooklyn Sims.
Yes, sir.
You're the one on the video at Home Depot.
Yes, sir.
Let's walk through that day. How did the day begin?
It started off as any other average morning. I got up for work early, got dressed, and started my day and proceeded to work.
Did you have to work that day?
Yes, sir.
Well, the state's introduced text messages between you and your mother. Is that correct? That was between you and your mother?
Yes, sir.
Did at some point that day you discover you had been diagnosed with gonorrhea?
Yes, sir.
How did you find that out?
I received a call from Greater Mobile Urgent Care.
When had you taken an STD test?
Before Tuesday to that date.
Tuesday prior to the shooting?
Yes, sir.
Why did you have that test done?
I started experiencing abnormalities that I've never had while peeing and resting and sitting down.
Had you ever had a sexually transmitted disease before?
Never in my life.
Other than the weekend, was that immediately after the weekend you had spent with Brooklyn?
Yes, sir. The following Tuesday, I got a test.
Had you been sexually active with anyone else?
Not for almost 2 months with anybody else.
After receiving this information, what did you do next?
Proceeded to leave work and head straight to my house.
What did you go to your house for?
I went to retrieve my firearm.
How long were you there?
Not approximately a minute and 30 seconds. So maybe a minute, 15, a minute.
That was a very
I left my car running. I ran in the door, jogged back out.
Did you let anyone else know about your diagnosis?
My mother,
Why did you tell her?
because I knew that she and Brooklyn worked close in hand. I knew they worked the same job and they talked back and forth a lot.
Did you know where Brooklyn was at that time?
Not till my mother informed me.
Do you recall driving the drive from your home to Pensacola?
I don't recall the whole trip. I recall spots of driving.
Let me back up a bit. After you were informed you had an STD, how did you feel?
Enraged, betrayed, hurt.
And the text messages are in evidence. You intend to get revenge on her.
Yes, I intended to.
When you arrived at the Home Depot, was it your intention to shoot Brooklyn?
Not fully. And what I mean by that is I was enraged until I arrived on aisle 52. When I got to aisle 52, seeing Brooklyn brought sort of a sense to me, brought me back down to earth, you know, being hot the whole way there, driving mad, seeing her kind of brought me back down to earth. So I remember pointing out my finger. I never got close enough even to touch her. I said, "Hey, you gave me something." And she said, "Not this again," and turned around and proceeded to walk off from me.
How did that make you feel?
I've never been so mad in my life.
What happened next?
I pulled my firearm from my waistband and I proceeded to shoot Brooklyn.
That's 1 second, Alan.
Yes.
Mr. Agee, do you have any remorse?
Objection.
How did you feel when she turned her back on
Hurt, betrayed, mad.
you? Tell Brooklyn if she was here today.
Objection, Judge. Sustained.
No further questions.
Any questions?
Yes.
You heard testimony earlier today that Calvert is 2 hours away, is that right?
For the average trip, it didn't take me 2 hours.
How long did it take you?
Anywhere close to around an hour and 30.
So 1 hour and a half. It took you.
Yes, sir.
Did you stop anywhere along the way?
I think I stopped to get gas along the way.
Did you not stop in Loxley?
I think that's one of the stores I stopped by. I can't recall.
How many stops did you make?
Only one.
So why do you say one of the stores you stopped at?
because I can't approximately remember what store I stopped at along any of the exits. I'm not too familiar with any of the area going further around Loxley. Anywhere past Mobile Bridge.
Any idea how many exits are between Calvert and Home Depot?
I'd say about 20 maybe.
28. Now, you got the phone call that morning from your doctor saying that you tested positive for the gonorrhea, right?
Yes, sir.
And you said you were at work when that happened and you went straight home and that you heard that was your grandmother's house, right?
Yes, sir.
How far was that from your work?
It doesn't take me 2.5 minutes to leave my job and get to my house.
You said you weren't in the house, but a minute and a half, you said?
Yes, minute and a half. Yes, sir.
How did you know it was a minute and a half?
I remember leaving my car running, and from a park close to the house, and it's not 15 feet from the front porch to my room and back, and I jogged in, jogged out.
Right, you went straight to your room, you got your pistol.
Yes, sir.
That's the same pistol we saw earlier today.
Yes, sir.
Was your grandmother home?
Yes, sir.
Did you talk to her?
No, sir.
And you knew Brooklyn would be with your mother, but you didn't know where they'd be working, right?
Yes, sir.
And you got the address from your mother.
Yes, sir.
So when you got the phone call from your doctor, you automatically assumed Brooklyn gave it to you, right?
Yes, sir.
So your testimony is that you drove an hour and a half after getting your pistol. You got the address from your mother. You went straight to the Home Depot, right?
Yes, sir.
Didn't stop anywhere in Pensacola.
No, sir. I didn't stop in Pensacola. No, sir.
So you went straight to the Home Depot. You parked your car actually next to your mother's car, right?
Yes, sir.
You left your car and you went up to approach Home Depot. You saw the video earlier, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you had your phone out.
Yes, sir.
What were you looking at?
Nothing. My phone was just in my hand from being in the car. I had GPS on because I didn't know my way through Pensacola or how to get to Home Depot.
When you were in the parking lot and in that store, did you not look down at your phone?
I can't recall.
Was your mother telling you where she was?
No, sir. Not in the store.
Did she
No.
drop a point to you?
She told me on the way to Home Depot that they would be in Home Depot.
Did she tell you what aisle?
No, sir.
Did she drop a point to you?
No, sir.
You entered the Home Depot in the main entrance and you walked directly to aisle 52, right?
No, sir. I walked along the aisles looking. I didn't know which aisle exactly that she would be located on.
You didn't stop and talk to anybody?
No, sir.
You went straight to her.
Yes, sir.
You walked down, once you saw her, you walked down the aisle and you said, "You gave me something."
Yes, sir.
She says, in your words, "Not this again," and turned away from you.
Yes, sir.
You said on the ride over here, this hour and a half, you were enraged, betrayed, felt hurt, right?
Yes, sir.
And you said you saw Brooklyn and it all melted away.
Yes, for that brief moment. Yes, sir.
How long was this brief moment?
Until she turned away from me and said, "Not again."
And then you said again, you felt hurt, enraged, betrayed. The same thing you just said.
Yes, sir.
Never been so mad in your life
Yes, sir.
because she turned away from you.
Yes, sir.
And you were going to teach her something.
Yes, sir.
And that's when you pulled out your pistol and you shot her. And you had no idea how many times you shot?
No, sir. I can't recall approximately.
Did your gun jam? We saw it jam.
No, sir. Not that I recall.
That's all I have to say.
There you go, right?
You have shot Brooklyn if she hadn't turned around, turned her back to you?
No, sir.
So we can step back in. Mr. Watts?
All right, this time.
A mom and dad are murdered while hiking with their
Which is like, wow. Like no care, no regard in regards to it at all. Like no remorse. Just no. I'm trying to see if they had anything else on here that would be interesting for us to see. And y'all know, quiet as kept, I see in here, he never even had a STD. Oh, the victim never had a STD, so she didn't give it to him. Oh my goodness. Not to say even if he did, like that would be something that he could be out here doing it for, but like really? And I'm still keeping an eye on all our courtrooms to kind of determine. Let me see. Oh, okay. And she was the mother of his child. Oh God. This is uh, this is this is unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. And to know that the mom was encouraging this. I'm just looking to find us a good video, possibly, if I can find one. To give us a little bit more background on it. Because as I'm scrolling through here, I am finding more and more like tidbits of information. I mean, like he went all the way in the store. Like you got to be so mad. Like he wasn't even waiting for her. He wasn't even gonna wait for her to get off work. Like with all the cameras at, like you big doofus. Maybe. Let me share this one.
And he said that the mother of his 2-year-old daughter, he basically said that she gave him this STD. He went to her workplace at a local Home Depot, and he shot her. And everybody saw that video.
And of course, he testified. We played that. He admitted to shooting her in a very odd way. It was like he was smiling at times as he was remembering
Yeah, very
this
robotic.
with pleasure. It was really disgusting. Let's take a watch at the verdict.
In the Circuit Court for Escambia County, Florida, State of Florida plaintiff versus Keith Eric Agee defendant. Clerk number 1723CF003379A, Division A. Verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as to the counts charged in the indictment. Count 1, guilty of first-degree murder as charged. Count 2, not guilty. So say we all this 20th day of December, 2023.
Okay, of course, after that, it was right to the sentencing phase, and Brooklyn Sims' mother testified. She was very emotional, and take a look.
The actions of Keith Agee greatly affected my life. As some of you may know, Brooklyn was my friend and co-worker that I formed a bond with rather quickly. To know Brooklyn and to love her. She was my always smiled a smile that was brighter than a storm. She had a voice that you could decipher with your eyes closed. Brooklyn was a daughter, a sister, a friend, and most importantly, a mother. Seeing Maison's face, I could always bring tears to my eyes. Because not only did she lose her mother, she lost her father and her grandmother as well. She had to grow up with neither parent in her life, and that would hurt me the most. Every morning I wake up, Brooklyn crosses my mind, and I cry because she didn't deserve what happened to me. I always cry to take my breath away and make my chest hurt. It's been countless of nights I sit up and I think about Brooklyn and her family. Since the day of August 11th, I've had a hard time going to places that consist of a lot of people. I constantly watch over my shoulder, afraid that what happens to Brooklyn could one day happen to me. I've had a hard time sleeping at night since this history due to the constant visions that play in my head watching her get that girl and never get that girl. I'm no longer able to trust the people that before this incident I thought I could trust. Because this made me see that even the people closest to you can harm you in the most foul ways. I've had a hard time with any loud noises in danger and loud noises in general because it reminds me of those gunshots that I can't seem to get out of my head. This incident also caused me to have to go to the hospital by ambulance and also caused me to miss work for the time of my healing. I returned to work a week after the incident simply because sitting at home thinking about this put me in a bad space mentally. I was told by the doctor that 8 inches closer, the bullet could have went all the way in. And to think before Mr. Agee walked on that aisle, I just moved over to the next man's partner. People should not be able to commit these crimes and get away with it. The emotional impact of this will be felt for years to come. I'm grateful for my friends and family that were by my side at the time of this incident to help with my physical things that I needed and still to this day for any mental and emotional support. I deeply feel that Mr. Agee should be held accountable for his actions.
My name is Cornelius Vanessa.
And how are you related to Brooklyn?
I'm working with his mother.
Now we're here for sentencing for Keith Agee, right?
Yes.
Okay, you got some things you want to tell the judge?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Obviously, blood changed emotion. I lost my dog. Her siblings lost a sister. She was an auntie. She was a friend. She was an amazing child. She didn't deserve it. I'm not at the point in my life right now I don't hate Mr. Agee, but I can't forgive him for it. I'm raising his daughter. That day, Casey lost her mother, her father, and her brother. I know that life without parole is on the table for him. Maybe he'll be able to get himself together for cases. Because one day she's going to ask me about this, and he is going to have to explain that to her. That's it.
All right, that was the victim impact statements. And when this was all done, something crazy was revealed. Like, remember that supposedly the reason he was going there was because she gave him an STD. Well, guess what? We're going to take a break and tell you.
Give it away.
Yeah. It was a bombshell, a final piece of evidence. Don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
Tonight on Court TV. These are the big cases that everyone is talking about.
A lot of new developments taking place.
Shocking. I know who killed John Bonet, to say the least.
You cannot make this stuff up.
It's unreal. The scene of the double murders is behind us right here. Things are happening. The investigation is continuing. Closing arguments with Vinny Politan tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
How did you feel when she turned her back on you?
Hurt, betrayed, mad.
Welcome back to Court TV Live along with Sheila Painter and Ted Rollins. We have been watching the end of the murder trial for Keith Agee.
That's right. A jury found him guilty after about 3 hours of deliberations yesterday of first-degree premeditated murder for the death of 18-year-old Brooklyn Sims. And he took the stand. He told the jury that he did, in fact, shoot Sims in the heat of the moment after finding out he tested positive for an STD after he had been intimate with her a few days earlier.
Yes, and then a major bombshell in this trial. After the verdict, the state submitted one little final piece of evidence, and boy, it really throws this whole thing into another layer of disgustingness. Take a look.
Some pictures of Brooklyn's daughter, Casey.
Judge, and one last thing, I really want to put you through the evidence because it has some medical information of Brooklyn Sims, but I should just realize that I'll be passing objection. Judge, this is an extract.
You know, like, this is like stranger with every minute. Like, the more and more I keep watching this, and then to find out that the mom is involved in it. Like, he did all of this. Like, first of all, like, when I first looked at it, I didn't know how detailed and how in depth this was going. Not only did the mom convince him to do this, the mom, from my understanding, dropped the girlfriend off at work. This is the mother of his child, right? And then it turns out that she didn't even have a STD. It sounds like he the one had it. So that means that he was out here creeping and crawling. Like, how dare you? No matter what it is, I'm not ever saying that it's okay to, do anything, but really? This is what we doing out here? But let's see what else. And this is just his trial, right? Because we know all the stuff that happened in her trial. The jurors was back there fighting. We got one that back there doing the crossword puzzles. Like, I don't have time for this. I don't care nothing about this. Y'all do what y'all want to do. to the point that it got really bad back there, right? But let's see what else we can find out in regards to it. Yeah, right, Pretty Brown. Definitely out there raw dogging, right? And got the nerve to come back to her. And yeah. Let's see.
Report from Sheila Agee's cell phone number, and they're just some text messages between her and Brooklyn. And court would look on page 4. Brooklyn sent a picture of the doctor's appointment she had on August 5th. And if you look at the very last page, it just shows that Brooklyn actually did not have gonorrhea. And I know in the grand scheme of things it doesn't matter, but we just wanted to give Miss Sims a little bit of dignity.
Any other witnesses or evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Daisy, please.
No, Your Honor.
She didn't have gonorrhea at all in the first place.
She didn't even have it.
Ugh.
It died for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, horrible. Josh Schiffer and Jack Rice still with us.
I mean, of course, nobody wants to have an STD, right? But dang, this was treatable. Come on. She didn't even have it. And even if she did have it and he had it, this is something treatable. Like, right, only being like, come on. Right? Okay, you say, yeah, like, really? And this is the mother of your child. And then the mama, she the oldest one with not even a thinking cap on her head, talking about go do it, go do it, go do it. Let me give you the address. Don't do it here in down here in Alabama. No, go to Pensacola and do it. Don't do it down here where we're in our stomping grounds. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, unbelievable. This case is so sad on so many levels. Josh, you first.
It's the example. Okay, pointlessness of that. And then you pull that rug out from under this, and it makes it just feel hollow, even more pointless than it was previously. And that's really the difficulty that we face sometimes, because the motivations behind people, their justifications, and then their ability to get access to some instrument, and that can be a knife, a gun, their own hands, and then to not be able to control themselves. And you want to be able to say, I just want to stop you and tell you this one thing as we watch this. And that's really the tragedy, because when we deal with this on a daily basis, as we walk into courtrooms, as I did just this morning, you realize that so much of this could have been stopped. So much of this could have been addressed earlier on, but once you get down a certain path, then you're stuck with these facts, and you watch them and you think of these family members during their victim statements and what they've lost.
Are bringing you the end of the murder trial for 20-year-old Keith Agee. We watched that play out last week here on Court TV.
Yesterday we did.
This week,
Yeah,
actually.
it seems like last week. I know. And of course, and rightfully so, a jury found him guilty of first-degree murder for shooting that beautiful young woman there, Brooklyn Sims, only 18 years old, while she was working at the Home Depot.
He did take the stand in his own defense, and he testified at trial. He told the jury that he felt hurt and betrayed and mad when Sims turned his back on him after he confronted her about this positive STD test results.
So what did he have to say to himself after he was convicted?
Sentencing hearing.
Yeah, at the sentencing hearing, he did address the judge. Let's watch.
I would like to say that guilty verdict. The charge carries a mandatory life. So I would like the family to know that anything I say is from the bottom of my heart, that I seek sympathy, that I seek sorrow. I would like to apologize to the family, to Ms. Bernice, and say I'm sorry. I can't ask for forgiveness because that's selfish. I can't expect her not to hate me because the roles are reversed. Anybody in different shoes feel different ways. If she can't forgive me, I completely understand more than anything. I just want her to know that through our past relationship, through things that have happened, I'm grateful to still have had her in my life, and things that she's done for me have not went without consideration in my heart. I think about Brooklyn every night. Every night before I go to sleep, I pray for Casey, I pray for Brooklyn. I have regret is an understatement for this. If I could reverse the roles, I would take Brooklyn's place. I had to live with this decision for the rest of my life, and I accept that. I just hate the fact that my family has to go through this. My family also has to go through this, but I made this decision.
Anything further from the defense?
Nothing further. Judge, I know based on the jury's verdict, the court had one appropriate sentence. I think the court heard the evidence in the case. The evidence is pretty senseless. It's unnecessary. It took a toll of emotional and domestic violence. And I think Ms. Sims' mother said at the test today that the greatest loser in this whole situation is his son, or his daughter, Casey. She lost that day her father, her mother, potentially her grandmother. And I know the law requires a life sentence here, and I think the life sentence is appropriate. Obviously, in the state of Florida, there is no parole. That's it, Judge.
Mr. Watson.
Mr. Agee has been in custody 132 days.
To avoid a pointless appellate issue, is the state seeking an unorthodox cost of prosecution that's required by law?
Yes, sir.
All right, so here to discuss still with us, Josh Shipper and Jack Rice. Okay, the defendant tried to apologize. What'd you make?
Yeah, I felt it, right? I mean,
I didn't
he
feel it.
regrets.
Trial. There's no offer of any kind, and what you're really trying to do is take the time to stretch out what happened and explain.
Premeditated murder is literally laid out. It's rare to have such a track record of what your thoughts were, what someone's thoughts were, what they intended to do, the acts they took to do it, and the culmination of it. It's rare that a premeditated murder is literally laid out right in front of the jury. This was the textbook definition of a premeditated murder. Because you got mad and blamed her for something that and disgusting irony, wasn't even her fault. And had you taken any time to think about it, you would have found that out. But instead, you did what you did. Came over here with one purpose, and you fulfilled that purpose. Traumatizing everybody in that store who had to see it, hear it, run from it. People got hurt. The jury found that you weren't responsible for unintentional battery on two of those people, whether they were hurt from fragments or from getting run out of the store. None of that happens if it's not for you. And that's the minimum part of it. Trauma that these people are going to live with, having had dealt with that, having to deal with that for the rest of their lives, with noises, crowds. But the evidence pretty conclusively pointed out you unloaded that gun until it jammed. And you would have survived at least, I believe there were, by the testimony was there were 3 more casings or 3 more bullets in the gun, plus another one by the side of the road. 7 shots. And you would have kept going, 2 in the back of the head. And just cold blood. In broad daylight in the middle of a store with coworkers, with customers. The terror that you inflicted on everybody that was around is unthinkable. And unfortunately, that by your decision, then you had so much time to think about it. You chose not just to end her life, but to throw yours away. To throw away the life that your daughter would have known. Because she's not going to get to know you very well from prison. I hope that she's able to have some relationship with you, if that's what her caretakers want. But you forfeited your role in her life. And the tidal wave effect of what you did will reverberate with all these people for the rest of their lives. And with you as well. The jury, having found you guilty of first-degree murder, adjudicate you guilty of that, send you to life in prison, credit for 132 days, 518 in court costs, 150 public defender application and fee. Is there anything else the state believes in favor of the defense? The financial obligations will be reduced to judgment lien. You have 30 days to appeal. We cannot approve an attorney that will